And I'm going to show you how to make a pawn using TrueSpace 5. First step to doing this is searching for an image of a pawn in Google. And we're going to search for the pawn. And you could choose just about any image, but you're going to want it front on view because you're going to be tracing it. So this one should work. You save it. You next you go to TrueSpace 5, and in the bottom left hand corner there's a trash can. You want to click on that. Then go to just under draft, it says background effects shader / image, and you want to left click that and then right click on it. Then you go to set background image, click on the folder and find your image.
I'm more focused on what the pieces look like. So guys, everybody takes
Okay.
like the big shot. I want you to take, see that picture up there?
Now you have it
pitch. Like it's like you're standing on the board, like you're really small standing on the board.
Okay, now you'll notice it's in the background but you can't see it, but since you want to trace it, you have to be able to see it. So you do this by going to File, Display Options, then and you click on Show Background Color / Image. So, but you want the front on view. So you click on that and then do Background Image. Okay, next you'll notice that the piece is a little bit distorted, a little bit too wide, not as high as you want it. So you drag it over. So this should fix it. Okay, now we're gonna lathe it, but in order to do this we need to trace it by doing Add Curve. Okay, and we're only gonna trace the bottom half of it. I'll explain to you why later. And this is just a rough sketch, so it's not going to look as good as you probably want it to. Okay, so now we've traced the bottom half of it. Then you go to where it says sweep right next to the camera tool. Click it, drag up to where it says lathe, and right click lathe. And the first thing you'll notice is that the circle is only 270 degrees, so you want to change it to 360. And the rotation on this is fine, but if I was to trace the left hand corner, I had to rotate it at 180 degrees so it would get the other half, but you could keep it at 0. Okay, now we are going to lathe it. I go on another pointer, clicking on the thing, going up to lathe. There we go. Okay, so now we've laid the bottom half of it. Okay, and we want to scale it down so we could look at it a little bit better. And then right click on the arrow, then rotate it so it's standing up. Do it by putting it at 0. So that's the bottom half. Okay, now we have to make the top half. First step to doing this is put in what you've just made at the XY coordinates of 0 and 0. This will just help in lining things up. You could put it down a little bit, you don't have to do this. It'll make it easier. Okay, now you'll notice right above where we made it's like a spherical, it looks like a torus. It'll be the closest shape on here. Okay, so put it to make the location 0, 0 to line it up. Then drag it up to where it should be. And this isn't at 0, 0, so make that. And this at 0, 0. Okay, and you also notice that it's a little bit more pointed. So to make it more pointed, you're gonna make the y coordinate, make the z coordinate go less. That'll make it more pointed. So that looks a little bit more like it. Okay, so then right above that, it looks like a sphere. Well, it is. So we're gonna make a sphere. Put it at the XY coordinates of 0, 0. Drag it up. This tree is a little bit too big, so we're gonna scale it down. Put it back at 0, 0. That's pretty much it. You could also change some things. This seems a little bit not tall enough and too wide, so make it a little bit taller and make these bigger because we did that. Put it back at 0, 0. Make this a little bit bigger by scaling it up. Back at 0, 0. So that looks pretty good for your chess piece. So next you could glue it by going to the bottom right hand corner to where it says copy, dragging up to glue as child, and click on everything. That'll glue it all together. So make it one, it'll all scale together. So you could scale it differently, make it taller, make it not as wide. And another thing you could do is do object subtraction on places you don't like. So to do this, I'm going to make it in one of these views. I just find it makes it easier to do an accurate object subtraction. So next you make a cube, and then make it big. And you have to line it up. And go to wherever you think it should be to make it look best. So I think that looks good. Make sure that this is at all good coordinates. Get 0, make this 90, get 0. It's basically you just infer on where it looks best. So it looks good. So then you click on the pawn, go to the left hand corner, the bottom left, to where it says object subtraction, make sure the pawn's clicked, and then click on the cube. This will subtract the cube and whatever it was hiding. So then make it stand up again. I go into 0, make it 0. And that's how to make a chess piece using TrueSpace 5.